Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do a video on how to use the VASSAL module for MAG-23 by Historic Wings, designed by Thomas Van Hare. I strongly suggest you go out and get this book game if you can from Amazon. This VASSAL module, which I've been given the okay to release once I pass it through Thomas, is going to make that much easier to play. Hopefully, get him some more copies sold of this, and more of you guys able to play it. If you're like me, you don't have the patience, time, or place to do the PMP, and Vassal is so much easier. Um, so here we go. I'm going to just go ahead and fire it up. Oops, you guys will not get my extension, so I'm not even going to include that in there. I put that in there so I can easily look up my rows and charts in the PDF, but that does not go out with the module. All right, splash screen, you all know that if you've played Vassal any. I'm not going to put my password in so you guys can't get it. And we are solitaire. So the base screen in this is going to be your, and it loads a little while. It takes a little while to load, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. It took an awful lot of um, copying and pasting in this. But I think it was worth it. And some of this is going to probably expand before we get into the upload phase, because I still think there's a couple of things I can do to make the drop downs a little bit better. Anyway, so you start on your daily operations phase, and have this set up so you can just go to each individual phase. It'll hide all the other menus. So as you go along, you really only have one choice to advance that, and that's to remind you where you're at. The only time that's going to change is end of mission assessment, where you get a chance to get another mission, in which case you'll hit schedule combat air patrol and start all over again. That's the first screen. Just work left to right up here in the top. Pieces, I have most pieces you're going to need to drag and drop here. Again, I like to have this a floatable window so you can move the window around and outside of the window, other windows that you may be using, as there are a ton of windows in most of the modules nowadays. Um, and just makes it so much easier to keep this bar small. This and be able to move your counters around. Anyway, I have all the different Japanese planes, and they should have the proper ability to strafe bomb. I think I have aces on all of them. I think the only ones you can have aces on are zeros, but we'll leave that. Your land, again, they're all in here, and naval. And I like the way these turned out, nice and big. I always liked the counters that came with it, or not came with it in the artwork, and I always like to showcase that as much as possible when I make a module. So there's all of those. U.S. All your Wildcats, Air Cobras, Dauntless, and Avengers. I did put on here. All these have the ability to reduce. Put an Ace, XO, CO, Flight Leader, Strafe, Thatch Weave, whatever they're eligible for should be on there. I also put the ability to put a note on here so that you can either put a note on that plane, or what I like to do so I don't forget who's in each individual counter is put the leader, then the wingman on there. So say if we were to do that right here, I'm going to put Amos and Franklin, no offense, Cliff, and that'll show up there. It's not the biggest, but at least it's a note for you to keep track of who's on individual pieces. These do rotate, so if I were to draw, I'm going to just draw it here because I'm not into the other page yet. You can go ahead and hit rotate on there, draw that whatever way you want, and then just reset to bring that back down to where it is. Um, Reduce is automatic to go down to here. If you make a mistake, I think I have that. Yes, just plus. I don't want to have too many resets on there. It's kind of you shouldn't be making that mistake much anyway. And then just delete them when you're done with them. Dice, regular D6, regular 2D6 should take care of most of your dice rolls. The dice mat that Clifton put up on On BGG, I have implemented into here. I have that down to about 100%. You have up to 9 dice. So if you're going to need to roll more than 9 dice, you'll have to go and um, re-roll. So if you want to just say like choose 3 dice, go ahead and hold the shift down, grab 3 dice, bring them over here, select all, roll the dice. 5 would probably be an attack. Defend might be 2 of them here. You just draw them over to there. Do your Japanese. So they had a couple of them. Roll them over here. Roll them dice. Oh, both of those were attacks. So we'll stick them over there. I like the way that looked on there, so I wanted to implement this into the here and do the attack dice. Again, then when you're done all that, just go ahead and hit clean up. It'll center them all back up in here at 1. Makes it nice and easy to keep rolling your attack dice, so it's really not a big deal to go ahead and roll a couple of times for the attacks if you need to. Notes, put them in here in case you need to keep notes. Victory, basically just at the end of the week when you do it, add a Japan victory, you'll take them down towards the bottom. Adding US will move us towards the top. As always, cleanup will put you back to the beginning. Air operations. Air operations combines the air combat operations board, which the phase marker will take you to the proper cap only or return or long interception and anything like that. Return. Um, and also it will bring up your air operations, will bring up your combat map, and I have that. Oh, that should be at 75%. I want that kind of low so it doesn't come up and blow right in your face. But for guys like me that like to see the counters and you have a little bit of space, I don't have a whole lot of space on my computer, but have enough. You can go ahead and put them there. Again, just draw your pieces down onto this map. Try to make them the scale they were on the BGG paper pictures, and you can just move them around. Just kind of put them wherever you want. And pilot notes. Let's get rid of that. But you can see, you can still see all that pretty well. Put your Japanese on here as well. Say we're going up against a 0. Put them in there. You get the idea. These are mostly just to keep track of things anyway. So also on these counters, let me go back to that real quick. Air combat, we have aces. You choose the ace. Say you got a quadruple ace on this one, you can bring that out, make them a quadruple ace. Say we're going to do a thatch weave over here. Put that right there. If he were to strafe, going to put that right there. A lot of drop down menus. So there you have that. Pilot's notes reduced by 1. Everything reduces by 1. The Japanese, when they reduce down to 2, they then go to single plane. We'll replace them with the single plane. When you're done, just hit cleanup. We go to land operations. That'll have be the land combat operations map, same as air operations. You're just going to put that on whatever one you're going to be selecting as per your decisions earlier. Cleanup will rehome that. Land operations also has a land combat map. And that one's at 75. I might make that, and 100, I may make that 75 also. 75 looks to be a good workable um, magnification. Sea operations. Again, sea combat operations. Let's see, I got that one nice and low. Sea combat operations map, and they also do sea combat map. Put that down to 75. That one I went a little bit bigger on, as the ship counters are so huge, and so I kind of went with that. You can actually bring that. I may bring that down to 73, but when you put a ship counter on it, sorry about that. So we got a transport in there. You see how big they are already. So to make sure you had plenty of room to put a bad dice roll on there, I chose to blow that one up a little bigger than the others. All right. Next is your logs, and this is why the module is slow loading. Not so much this one, but this is your basic daily log. I have this set up to go ahead and put all your information in here. Um, this could be your sole log if you desire. Um, my friend Clifton is using that and has a couple of good examples. See if I can get one of them up real quick. Sorry about that, guys. We're definitely spring allergies, I believe it is. Okay, this is one of Clifton's right here, and you can fill that right on out. You can see that is for the 21st of August, and he's got all his notes in here. Fills out really nicely. Um, and let's see here. The other thing I did was when you fill this out, let's just put a simple little too much on there. Um, you go to take a screenshot when you're done a day, so you save all your information. That way, you don't need to have tons of logs around that you'll probably never revisit. You'll just save it as a PNG. And what I tend to do is I'll use a save file within my main folder. Save. I have a War Games folder on my OneDrive. Historic wins under that, and actually I should have made a subfolder under that for MAG-23 because I would love to go ahead and do this for uh, the other. Oh boy, I can't even remember it right now. Wings Over Britain. About you know which one I'm talking about. Brain's not there. Lots of personal things interfering here lately. Anyway, so I'd go ahead and put that in either here or screens. Make your own folder. You got your own organizational methods, but that way you don't have to have tons of logs saved. And the more logs you put in, the more clutter and more takes up space in your memory and stuff. And the module definitely slow down. So when you're done a day and you've taken your screenshot, remember to name them PNG. It's best to name them as a PNG. We'll go to the next day, which clears this all out and advances the calendar right here up to the next day. If you do make a mistake, you can right click on here and back one day. But I like that. Makes it nice and easy to not forget when you're clearing it out. And that goes all the way up until the end of the campaign. Then it'll stop right there. It won't. I don't have it going around, so it will stop at the end of the campaign. So anyway, that's that. The next log, aircraft and fuel log. These are all selectable, and they should have the correct header on there for what information you're putting on. I didn't automate any of the math. You're going to have to use your brain a little bit. I could always change that if I desired to, but there's a lot of work that went into this as it is. So again, this sheet can be cleaned up too. I wouldn't recommend it once you start it. If you need to on each individual one, you can hit clear all. I mean, just clear. Um, Say if I had 4 right here, 4 right there, and I used up 8 cap, and I didn't like 8, so I wanted to clear that out. You just hit that. If you want to clear the whole thing, you hit that, and it'll clear them all. Anyway, so these are all selectable all the way down to the bottom. And then we go into your aircraft, or no, campaign tracking. This is all selectable also to keep track of your wins, losses, and stuff. And I just added in there draw. And again, once you're done with this one, that can be cleaned up also. That's for ease of tracking your campaign wins and losses as you go along. And the next one, this is the aircraft. And this one here, I really took my module off of. Let me see if I can get to it real quick. Off of the images on BGG as much as I could. Let's see if I can find them real quick. There you go. All right. So this is what they do on BGG. So I kind of tended to I wanted mine to kind of go along that same venue. So what we got here is you'll put your names in up here, and down here, if you're assigned a cap, you put a C, air L, I mean A, land L, S. You know the routine. So we're gonna put him as cap. Um, if I add a kill, it will not only put one down here in the daily, but it'll put one up here at night at the total. So that works all the way around. If I don't like that, I'll remove one kill, which will take them back out. Status MIA, light wound, serious wound, KIA, rescued. If I As I get more familiar with the game, I will update these menus a little bit to try to encompass all. But you'll put that there. If it's a light wound, it'll be red. Say he got KIA. We'll put the KIA there. Then I would go down here and select everything in that column. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And lined out KIA. So you don't have to worry about using that line no more. The next thing is reset. Of course, reset the whole thing, so you have to start it all out again. Any notes you can either put, and I only have a few in here right now because I'm not sure. BOL, bombing operation land C, I think, or I need to look more into these. I just put the ones I saw on BGG in there, just so you have some extra notes. But for now, because I'm not sure if I got all the bases covered, I put an enter note on there so you can put your own. So if I don't get those right, you can always put a small little note in there. So we strafe, we did a tank strafe or whatever. You can put that in there. And this is at 75%, so it will expand up nicely so you can see things better. Um, Cap assigned, we already did. Crashed on landing and takeoff, I just put them both on here. So if you crashed on takeoff, you're going to do that. So you really can have a lot of information in here as you could on the BGG one. So that was my intention. And this is why this thing is really not really slow, but it's slow loading up because you're talking hundreds and hundreds of individual boxes, and that start stacks with a little bit of coding in them. And I'm no coding expert, but every VMA is in here. Everything that's supposed to be selectable is selectable. You'll be able to track your aircraft on here for every one, only on the dates you'll be able that you're supposed to. And I like the way that turned out. And those are still probably going to be a work in progress as I get more and more used to the game. Um, and basically, it brings us to the end. You can take screenshots here. I think that's where we're at. I will have a copy of this video up in the help menu. It'll be under it'll just say how to use video or something like that. So thanks everybody for joining me. This is MAG-23 by Historic Wings, designed by Thomas Van Hare. And this is the VASSAL module and how to use it. Give you a little brief little overview on it. Thanks for joining me all. You have a great day. Bye now.